Now, I want to talk a little bit about what harassment is. And I want to use as an example a personal friend of mine, Marissa, who has a great background in entertainment. She's done a couple TV shows. She's married to a very well-decorated soldier. He's an international banker. I mean, her background is amazing. And it's a pleasure of mine to have gotten to know her because she's a down-to-earth person. Melissa Schumann from the band Dream is, putting this lawsuit up against Nick Carter, the guy from the Backstreet Boys, the lead singer, I believe the founder of the Backstreet Boys, saying that in 2011, he raped her. Well, Marissa and Nick and Aaron and the family, they're all good friends. And I was fortunate enough to be able to be on live with Aaron with her one time for just for a minute. But Melissa Schumann is saying that Marissa, who is, the His Side 2 movement, she's very in tune with that, where these women come out and they come after these entertainers and they're trying to only get money or publicity. It's opposed to the Me Too. There are men out here, they're entertainers that get accused by women, and they're just trying to extort them. In this case, Melissa Schumann, we feel like, is trying to extort them. She had to go at me just because I was a friend of Marissa's. Her dad is horrible. And anyways, Marissa had been putting up videos about, what's going on with the case, things that she was, that she knew Nick personally, and that, she was just sticking up for Nick. And Schumann saw that as harassment. She saw a couple of things that Marissa said to her as harassment, but it's not harassment. And I wanted to show the rebuttal of this judge, and Marissa's there in the courtroom, and I believe she's serving as her own attorney. I want to show you what harassment is, Danelle. Just somebody speaking about you and stating their opinion is not harassment. When I asked you to show what harassment, you said, well, look at your YouTube. It's 60, 70 videos about me, and they're not about you. They are responding to things that you have done or said because you want to be a national voice for a inmate on death row that was convicted, and it made national news. So you want to be her spokesperson. And if you're going to be her spokesperson, you have to take criticism. But I want to show you, Molly sent me this. I'm going to show you how the judge handles harassment.
From another country, which I believe ended up just being a letter. My husband's the one who opened up that one.
That's Melissa Schumann from the band Dream.
Other than the one comment 5 years ago that said heads are going to roll on Gundy or whatever the street name was, can you point me to any specific conduct on the part of Miss Basinski that would be a threat to commit bodily injury to you, or a threat to physically damage your property, or a threat to physically confine or restrain you, or explain to me what else there is that...
Now, see, I want to stop her right there. It's all about physical threat. When it comes to harassment, there has to be an action. I can say, I'm coming to kick your ass, right? And if you took me to court just because I said I'm coming to kick your ass, the judge's next question is going to be, well, did he come to kick your ass? And if you say no, then you have no case. Okay? So, but what you did yesterday was harassment because and I highlighted this, and I brought the volume up so you can hear it, and I took the background noise out of it just like they did in Darley's case. And we can hear you tell Pam that you will smack the shit out of her. That is harassment. That is harassment. That's what you just committed while you're accusing other people of it.
Causes you to be physically afraid of her. I mean, outside of what some might argue is a practical joke of fake feces. Because there's nothing really threatening about that. It's just a mean thing to do. And mean things are not illegal.
Sure.
I mean...
Did you hear this, Judge? Mean things are not illegal. But when you start threatening to physically put your hands on someone, now you're illegal. And you did that, Danelle.
Unfortunately, the world is a mean place.
Right. She has publicly expressed her willingness to blow people's heads off if they enter onto her property, that she would be happy about.
Now, Melissa Schumann just said, I don't know if you can hear her, but she said, well, she has posted her willingness to blow people's heads off. I don't think she said that, but if she did, if she said, you come in my yard and I'm going to blow your head off, that's not harassment and that's not a threat. That's a warning. That's a warning. And the courts will look at it that way.
That happened, that it would make her more famous. What else has she said? She has...
But nothing that would tie it to you.
That's what scares...
But nothing that was typed to you, the judge said. Now I'm gonna play this out, and I'm gonna let you hear how my buddy, who I just adore her, she's so bright. She's just a great person to know, in my opinion. I'm gonna let you show how she served as her own attorney.
That, you know, she has made statements that she will do whatever Nick Carter, my user, asks of her, and so I don't know how far she's willing to go for her friendship or whatever association she has with my user. I feel that she knows no bounds. I mean, she has mentally and emotionally tormented me and my family for 5 years. I feel like I've been very patient with her.
I'm watching Marissa, and I know it's really hard for her not to say anything while Schumann is talking. I can just feel her biting her teeth back.
Now we're in litigation. I wish she would
If
just...
looks could kill.
Instead,
Well, that wouldn't be the way anybody does business in the United States in 2023.
Yes.
Everything's litigated in the media, from the president on down.
Yeah, you go.
You're not isolated in that respect. I mean, that's just the way the world is today, to a certain degree. But let me hear from Ms. Dzinski. Why would you post someone's personal address online?
Check this out.
A snapshot of it or whatever image it is.
I really don't recall that because it's been so long. MollyGoAttorney is not an alias. It was the name of a YouTube channel that I started.
Okay.
And I made videos about that particular case. And
What case?
About Melissa Schumann.
Okay.
And I deleted every single video in 2018. And I haven't made any videos. And the only reason that I made this post was because she's making headlines now. And I was wrong to tag Melissa Schumann. And that's why I flew all the way out here to defend myself. And I meant every word that I said. And
Yeah, don't back down, Molly.
for her to feel threatened at all.
See, that was ballsy of her, and I enjoy that she said I meant every word that I said, because she's not backing down.
Never made any sort of bodily threat against her, and she knows this.
Bodily threat, the physicality of harassment.
And I will say one right now that I will swear under oath. We just caught her in a lie just now. She said that she was sent fake feces for her birthday. Someone called her on Twitter and sent me the screenshot and she took a picture of the feces and says, "I'm making this public for the first time. Someone sent me feces." It was post dated in May. And someone said her birthday's in August. I have it. So I just wanted to say, if she's so fearful of her life, I can prove to you that this whole thing, what she's doing to me right now, by involving me, was a failed PR stunt. I can prove it to you. The day she took out the TRO, she had someone take a photo of her and she put it on her Twitter, right here, and then
I love this part.
tweeted this.
When this right here.
And then,
May I please submit it? There you go.
or anyone from the media to pick this up, and she puts MollyGoAttorney. She tried to make herself more famous, and me too. And you know what else I can even submit? She wanted all starts talking, and I don't want to, and just for the buzz, to get Melissa Schumann and MollyGoAttorney talking in hopes that Radar Online and everyone else would start talking about us. And they didn't pick it up, because she loves the attention. And what his side too, all he wanted to do was not to discredit her. I've been a victim's advocate this whole time. She doesn't like me because her story keeps changing. It's the only thing.
Get them
She
all.
doesn't like me because I don't believe her.
That's right.
It's not personal.
I'm going through it right
Set
now.
your story straight.
It's not personal. Yep.
I have no loyalty to Nick Carter. I don't even want to be part of this anymore. I don't know if this is an attempt to get me not to testify against her. It's not personal towards her. I live in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
This is how you defend yourself against somebody who accuses you of harassment when you're not harassing them.
All right. When I reviewed all of the information in this case, what stood out to me is there's two sides to every story. While Ms. Henschel's comments in her own post are that, she states as a survivor of an incident that she doesn't want to feel harassed. Definition of harassment in that situation being people that stand up and say they don't believe you. And on the other hand, it's not this court's job to say whether there was a sexual assault or not a sexual assault. I understand that's the disagreement here, and you filed your lawsuit, and that is a lawsuit for another day in another court with the appropriate witnesses there to substantiate that claim. That is not what this is about. Other than that, what I see this is a public announcement that they don't believe you, and that this group that doesn't believe you. And that might be hurtful, but I don't find that it's harassment. I don't find that
Did you hear that? I don't find that it's harassment. So when I asked you how I was harassing you, you said, well, you keep putting up videos about me. That is not harassment. There was a judge that just said that. And she even mentioned a group of people who don't believe you. Not a group of haters or people who aren't educated or dummies. We're a group of people who don't believe you. And according to the law, we have that right.
With respect, people have First Amendment rights of freedom of speech.
Exactly. You're watching this for the first time with me.
And you can say all day, provided that there's no defamation suits and proof that it's false, you can certainly, represent the facts that you were sexually assaulted if that's
Defamation suits. Now that's where you would go if you feel like you're being harassed and slandered. I would encourage you to file a defamation suit if you feel like you're being harassed. I'd encourage you to do that.
something that you want to put out there. You also have the right to disagree with you. And the freedom of speech goes both directions. I don't find that the very two things, an address that no longer is your address from 5 years ago, and a comment that heads are going to roll on Gundry 5 years ago, to be relevant and close enough in time to today, given the recency of your claim, your application.
And we have to remember about addresses. When you post to someone, hey, how's the weather there in Columbus? Right? You don't mention any names. You don't mention any addresses. But you want to let that person that you know exactly where they're at. Right? So when someone, I don't know, say puts up a parody video of a weather chopper, doing a weather check over Willows Point, Texas, that is not posting an address. That's not doxing. It could be that person letting someone else know that, hey, we know where you are too. It's not harassment. Even YouTube, you reported that video of the chopper flying over Willows Point, Texas, as a privacy concern. But since there was nothing that identified directly to your privacy, such as a name, an address, a street, or a hey, that's hers, it doesn't violate the laws of the land or the laws of YouTube. You reported me for that. They're like, nope. Nope.
You cause me to believe that you're in any actual fear or threat of violence, of bodily harm, of anything.
It's like right now, if you, let's say, you tried to get a restraining order on me right now. Right? That video that we made last night would make you look like a fucking joke. Because you are actively provoking, instigating, and intimidating. And then you're running to hide behind the teacher. And the courts would see that. I hope you ever try something legal on me.
There's one post between now and, between the recent events after you initiated your lawsuit, as you put it, standing up for yourself. There's one post, and I don't find anything threatening about that one post. I also don't find that Ms. Dzinski's exercise of her Second Amendment right to bear arms and posting photographs of it has really anything to do with you. I understand you're taking it a certain way, but it's not directed at you. And I can only issue a protective order for conduct of Ms. Dzinski, not your perception of her conduct and your own insecurity about what's going on.
Bam. Did you hear that judge say? Your own insecurity about what's going on. You're quick to accuse people of a crime. And then you commit the crime that you've accused that person of. You threatened to slap Pamela Lakes Collins. That, by definition, is harassment.
In this case, I do not find there to be the temporary protective order. Now, I also don't find that Ms. Dzinski's exercise of her Second Amendment right to bear arms and posting photographs of it has really anything to do with you. I understand you're taking it a certain way, but it's not directed at you. And I can only issue a protective order for conduct of Ms. Dzinski, not your perception of her conduct and your own insecurity about what's going on.
Bam.
In this case, I do not find there to be sufficient evidence to issue a temporary protective order. Now, you battle
See, what Schumann was trying to do, Schumann was trying to get a protection order on Marissa. And then what Schumann would have done is use that protection order as a weapon. Anytime that Marissa would, she would say Marissa contacted her, she would lie in a violation of the protection order, she would be jailed immediately for that. Those protection orders are dangerous. That's why people go to court to fight them. Because once someone puts one on you, that's like putting a check mark on your back for the police and the courts. Because all you got to do is fart in the wrong direction and they will take you to jail. If someone has a restraining order on you and you're out shopping somewhere and that person is in the store, that's a violation. Even if you leave.
Courtroom and allow justice to prevail, however that may end up. Obviously, that doesn't give you license to start up this whole mess again, but should there be any continued behavior on the part of Ms. Dzinski that you believe is actual threatening and stalking behavior in the recent times, then feel free to file another application. It will let our court do something like that. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
ID, sir.
So, Ms. Donnell, you have no claim of harassment against me. You have your own insecurities, as that judge said. But you have no claim of harassment against me whatsoever, because by law, it's more of a physical thing. If you tried, right now, I can't do nothing about you running around telling everybody that I'm harassing you when I'm not. And all I can do is know the law and know that you're an idiot. And that's my opinion. You're an idiot. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. You're entitled to do what you'd like to do as well. But I just wanted to come at you with some facts again.